Can you believe that the dude whose philosophy is all about avoiding pain has this as his most famous picture? Looks like he's hate watching an Adam Sandler movie or something. But anyways, this is Epicurus, founder of, wait for it, the philosophy of Epicureanism, and I kinda don't like this guy. So his philosophy is a hedonist philosophy, but not the one where you chase after pleasure like the Cyrenaics, but rather Epicurus' hedonism is mainly about avoiding pain, trying to get into this state of contentment, rather than going on this roller coaster of pain and pleasure, rising and falling. It's obviously more complicated than that, but this rejection of the ups and downs of life seems to me at least to be a rejection of life itself, which I personally think is going to screw over a lot of people who decide to follow this philosophy down the road. I get that when you're going through a painful experience in life, it sucks, and you maybe wish you were a practicing Epicurean. But later in life, when you reflect back on the struggles you've gone through, it paints a picture of a life worth admiring. If you're a perfect Epicurean and you live in this contented, non-striving state for all of life, you're not going to have much to look back upon. It'll be boring. You know what else is free from the crazy highs and lows of life? A place of ultimate equilibrium? Death. In death, there are no pains to hurt you. There is nothing. In fact, he's famous for saying that death is nothing to us, because there are no sensations. Therefore, we shouldn't fear death. Now, obviously, if you're paralyzed by the fear of death, you should maybe work on that. But Epicurus seems to be paralyzing us through this nonchalant attitude towards death as well. Well, let me tell you, death probably is nothing to you. If you're an Epicurean, because you haven't lived a life worth a damn. A life devoid of experience and risk-taking and pursuit. For those of us who pursue, whether it be through personal projects or through social relations, death means something, and I want death to mean something. Now, Epicurus is pretty big on friendship, which I can respect. But the Epicureans in general, especially when you get to Lucretius, are very skeptical when it comes to romantic relationships. How fucking sad, I think. To be given this life surrounded by other beings with their own life, and not want to engage in a relationship with one of those beings who you feel a romantic attraction towards. There's a beautiful vulnerability that comes with romantic relationships, an opening up that I don't really believe exists with friendships. Now obviously, maybe the Epicurean friendships are extra vulnerable to make up for this, I don't know. But it's admittedly not exclusive, not one-on-one, not you and your partner against the world. I also just think if you put Anne Hathaway in front of Epicurus, he'd throw out his entire philosophy. Another thing I don't like about this guy is his diet. It's very bare bones and just about sustaining life. Think bread and water. And if you're an Epicurean who wants to argue about this video in the comments, you're not allowed to comment if you've had anything other than bread and water in the past 6 days. That's just the rule. It's all about the bare necessities in order to sustain life. But again, why bother sustaining life if death is nothing to us? I don't know. You know what else grinds my gears is this fantasization about his death. He apparently died pretty painfully as a result of a bladder stone, and you know, that sucks. I know I'm trashing on him super hard, but I would not want to have a bladder stone myself. But you get these later Epicureans who try to claim that he dealt with it joyfully and free of pain. Oh, go fuck yourself. There's no way you could go through something like that peacefully and with a smile on your face. But really, my main problem with his philosophy is that if you adopt it, you probably won't be doing a lot of living. Sure, you're probably less in pain than me, much more content than me, but I also think that when we're older, or on our deathbeds, the crazy life lived is preferred to the peaceful life lived. Maybe I'm young and naive, I don't know, but I'd rather pass away with as little regrets as possible, even if the pursuit of that fulfillment is painful. I'd rather ask a girl out who'd reject me than to not ask her out in the first place, but that's just me. So what about you? Who's a philosopher with an ethical theory that you're like, man, if someone adopted that lifestyle, there might be some problems. That's all I'm saying.